Hello everybody, what is going on? It is Munch818 or Ian back here with another video in this first series of videos, this first little series that I'm going to do called Argumentative Opinions. So, this argumentative opinion is going to be that there should be 10 teams in the RLCS. So I am just going to be providing evidence toward the claim that there should be 10 teams in the RLCS. I really do not know what that means for the Rlrs, so I'm not really going to prove substantial evidence whether that should stay 8 teams, whether that should move to 10 teams as well. I'm just talking about the RLCS here. So the first part of my video is going to be providing substantial evidence to prove the claim that there should be 10 teams in the RLCS. Then I'm going to break down how Psyonix should go about doing that. And then I am going to show you all of the great things that it can bring to just kind of solidify my point. So I hope you guys all do enjoy the video. If you do like the video, make sure to like. And for all of the people out there that watch my videos and do not subscribe, the vast majority of you that watch my videos and do not subscribe, remember, please subscribe. Let's get right back into the video. Alright guys, so this entire video, pretty much from here until the end, is just going to be one big slideshow, just letting you know there's not going to be any face cam. As you can see, my face is not on the screen right now, and I just want to make it easier for you guys to get all the information, because there's going to be a ton on my screen, and I don't want my big head getting in the way. So, before we get into it, I would just like to say, if you guys do like the video, make sure to like the video and subscribe if you want more videos like this. Alright, now let's get down to it. So, my first point of evidence is going to be the promotional playoffs. If you guys do not know what the promotional playoffs are, it is where the bottom 2 teams from the RLCS and the top 2 teams from the RLRS play in a double elimination bracket to determine which 2 out of those 4 teams will be in the RLCS next season. Now, these are all the results, and I know you guys don't know what teams were in the RLCS and RLRS originally unless you're looking at it, but I'm just going to break it down for you. So on the left, we have Europe, and on the right, we have North America, and I'm just going to start off with the end of Season 4, which determined who would be in RLCS Season 5 and RLRS Season 5. So, at the top, we have Fnatic and Envy there. So, Fnatic actually did go up in this season, and they ended up in the RLCS from the RLRS. They promoted, and then Team Envy retained, and then over on the North American side, we have Renegades retaining their spot. We're Out of Style actually promoted over Allegiance. So right now it is 1-for-1, pretty even, nothing proven in concrete evidence. Then we move on to the end of Season 5, determining who will be in Season 6. And we have Servette Geneva Esports promoting up, and Fnatic retaining their spot. And then, on the North American side, we have Allegiance and FlyQuest promoting up. So, 3 teams promoted, 3 out of 4. You know, that's pretty good and pretty crazy. You'd expect if the bottom level of RLCS was better than the top level of RLRS, at least by a substantial margin, that more RLCS would be re-promoting and re-queuing for RLCS rather than RLRS teams taking their spot. But that's not even where it gets crazy. It gets really crazy at the end of Season 6, where RLRS teams went 4-for-4. Red Reserve, Savage, Splice, and Bread all promoted into the RLCS out of the RLRS. And then the craziness continues, where at the end of Season 7, the most recent one that just happened, Complexity did promote, the Bricks retained, and then the Peeps and Birds and the Bees both promoted. So out of all of these seasons, 12 out of the 16 promotion teams were from the minor leagues. And I think that really proves that not only are the higher level minor league teams on the same level as the lower level major league teams, but they are possibly even better. And 75% of the time they promote over the RLCS team. That is absolutely crazy. Now let's get into my second piece of evidence, which is actually going to be dream hacks. So you guys can tell basically how these dream hacks went based on who won. So on the left, we have the most recent DreamHack, DreamHack Valencia. In the middle, we have DreamHack Dallas. And on the far right, we do have DreamHack Leipzig, which was before RLCS Season 7 started. So let's start with DreamHack Valencia. Now, I just want to say I'm not going to point out every team and talk about that because I did that in my last DreamHack video, which I actually talked about Valencia. I haven't talked about Dallas or Leipzig in the in-depth scenarios that I have of DreamHack Valencia, but this will be pretty entertaining, and I'm just going to point out the teams that either are new rosters or either just demoted or just promoted or are in the Rlrs. So let's start off with Complexity Gaming. We're going to start off with the most recent one, DreamHack Valencia. So Complexity Gaming just promoted. Supposedly, before this, wasn't even a top 8 team, getting top 4. Randy Gibbons River Rats having the majority of EG, which means that their roster would have just demoted. So they are currently the old EG roster of Crypto-G and Classics are in the minor leagues, teaming up with Turbo Pulsa, getting a top 8 finish, which if they're really worse than those top tier RLCS teams, why are they getting top 8 at a tournament like this? And then I just want to point out Veloce, who actually did end in the minor leagues. Again, they got to that promotional playoff tournament and they didn't make it into the RLCS, them still being in the RLRS. And then you look over and you see Mount Gang, who is just a team that was thrown together being the final team. So not even an RLRS team, showing that they can compete with the best. The skill gap is so close. Then moving on to DreamHack Dallas, we have the first team up there, EG. This was right before they demoted. This was right after they demoted, excuse me. Evil Geniuses with Drip A getting a top 4 finish. This team should not be in the RLRS if they are beating teams with the likes of FC Barcelona, NRG, Vitality, G2, Rogue. All teams that are top level and all went to LAN. Then we go a little bit farther down and we see Mouse Sports. This is a team that at this point would have been in the same boat as EG, just demoted. Then we look at Complexity Gaming, at this point just promoted. Obviously Complexity on a bit of a roll here, just giving them props where props is due. Then you go a little bit farther down and you see Method all the way at the bottom, who is still an RLRS team in Europe. And then the Peeps. You can obviously tell a great team just promoted into the North American RLRS. Then you look back at DreamHack Leipzig, Savage, a team that finished top 4 and had just promoted at this point, was just allowed back in the RLCS. Then you have a team like Team Echo Zulu, who's just a thrown together roster, pretty much no names, a complete dark horse, showing that they can compete with the likes and finish higher than Ghost Gaming, PSG, Evil Geniuses, all these LAN level teams at that time. They really just threw a roster together and they had been playing a lot, but still beating the top level. At the top, the skill gap is not as big as RLCS portrays it, with only 8 teams in the major league. Then you scroll a little bit further down and you see Bread, who at this time had just promoted into the RLCS. Then you see Complexity, who is an RLRS level team. You go a little bit down, you see Mindset and MCON, who were RLRS or lower level teams at this point, guys. The skill gap is very close. Now I'm just gonna hop into the next thing, which you guys can see, which is actually the RLCS Season 7 kind of regional reports. So I'm just gonna show you guys how crazy this is. On the NA side, not that crazy. 2 teams promoted from the North American side, and it was kind of disappointing. Splice, obviously we know this is promoting out of Season 6 into Season 7. So not the most recent promotional playoff because we haven't seen them play yet. But the one before that, Splice being a bottom team, honestly showing that that's where we expect them to be. We don't expect teams to make it out of basically the top 2 once they were just promoted. We expect them to be at the bottom. But then Space Station, you look over on the NA side, taking the 5th place, almost making it to LAN, being favorited to go to LAN, top 4 out of league play, getting upset by Rogue. We're expected to go to LAN. But that's not even the craziest part. You look over at the European side of things. The number 2 seed and the number 4 seed going into LAN. Both of them are going to LAN. Beat the likes of Dignitas, Team Solo Mid, the Bricks, The bricks, they beat them all, and they're all going to land, and they were just in the minor leagues 8 months ago. How crazy is that? That is absolutely insane. FC Barcelona, honestly, being a top-level team, it's absolutely nuts that they were ever in the RLRS. And then, obviously, Triple Trouble, showing that even teams that were just promoted can compete with the best. It's absolutely crazy that there is not a 10-team league when these teams are coming fresh out of the minor leagues and crushing these teams. Crushing Dignitas, crushing TSM, crushing the Bricks, these dynasties. They're coming out of the minor leagues and beating them. It's absolutely ridiculous that there are only 10 teams in the RLCS. Now I'm going to finish this one up showing you guys how they would do it. So with the 8 teams, which it has been RLCS 7 to RLCS Season 1 the entire time, there was 28 matches. They did it in 5 weeks, and they did 5 matches between week 1 and week 2, 6 matches in week 3 to 5. Pretty straightforward. But now moving to 10 teams, this is just how I'd suggest doing it. I'd suggest the first option. So there's going to be 45 matches regardless. I would suggest breaking it up into 7 weeks because they've shown 6 to 7 matches is pretty much as they want to do in one day as RLCS in this current state is. And Rocket League, 6 to 7 matches is just as much as they can take. At least RLCS has proved, as they really haven't gone more than 7 matches streamed in a day in an RLCS. Obviously in a DreamHack is a different story, but in the RLCS they never gone more than 7 matches, I think, or 8 maybe, with World Championship bracket resets in a day. So I'd say 7 weeks would be the best. Then you can have 6 matches between weeks 1 to 4, and then 7 matches between weeks 3 to 5, and it'd be so simple, so easy, and you wouldn't have total horrible days. Like if you wanted to do in 6 weeks, just to cut the weeks down, it would have to be 7 matches on half the weeks and 8 matches half the weeks. Now, let's get back to the face cam where I can talk to you guys about some of the pros. Alright guys, some of the pros in this scenario, I'm just going to try to lay it out. Some of them are simple. Pro. More high-level Rocket League. Pro. More org stability. Obviously, Rocket League needs a lot of org stability as they aren't giving, like, we aren't a multi-million-dollar esport at this point. We're not giving away tons of money every single year. So, obviously, the orgs want to stick around and they want to make more money. So, there is more stability. And in the RLRS, they really can't do that. That's why a lot of those RLRS teams don't even have orgs. And then you look at Triple Trouble, who doesn't even have an org. And they're a top-level RLCS European team. More org stability, because out of 10, in my opinion, if RLCS was 10 teams, Evil Geniuses old roster wouldn't have dropped down. The Drip A, Corrupted G Classics wouldn't be in the RLRS. Mouse Sports might not be in the RLRS. Maybe. I think these teams, plus there would be more teams for orgs to sponsor that are making big money. Then the next thing, like I've been saying, more money. There's more wealth spread. Obviously, the land can stay the same because that's where the most of the money goes. But the league play teams just make so much more. If you look at how much the top of RLRS make versus the bottom of RLCS, it's like almost a $10,000 difference. And that RLRS team could just be better than the RLCS team. Now, this won't fix the problem. There might still be minor league teams that are better than major league teams, but at least there's more major league teams getting paid. And then, obviously, the fourth thing, more money that sponsorships can give because there's just more airtime. There's more airtime, there's more sponsorships. It's just better for everyone. You guys are getting more money. RLCS is getting more money. The players are getting more money. We're getting more high-level Rocket League to watch, and we love it. More Twitch. You guys get ad revenue off of Twitch. More of that. Please, Rocket League. I have proven in this video that there is easily good enough teams to have a 10-team RLRS. It is so easy for you to do this, Rocket League. So easy. Just add the teams back. We'll forgive you. If you say, you know what, old EG roster, you're back in the RLCS. You know what? A lot's old roster. Mouse Sports, you're back in the RLCS. Every team that was in the promotional playoff, Veloce would be thrilled. 10 teams in the RLCS. Get these boys paid. Get these boys orgs. That's all I've got to say, guys. I'm out. Alright, everybody, if you did like that video, make sure to like the video. Make sure to comment any opinions you do have below, and make sure to subscribe. Make sure to check out my Twitter, MuchA1ARL, where I do tweet out a lot of information about my videos and just funny Rocket League content. Make sure to check out my Twitch, MuchA1A, as I will start streaming very soon. And make sure to check out my Discord, link in the description. And I will see you guys all next time. Peace.